TMZ has just dropped a major bomb, claiming that Trump is now seriously considering commuting Diddy's sentence.
Diddy could be a free man by the end of this week. We broke a story last night that Donald Trump is seriously considering commuting his sentence.
Now, this isn't just TMZ clickbaiting us. It seems this exclusive really is legit. TMZ's paparazzi have since managed to interview Diddy's lawyer and asked him if there's any truth to the pardon. And this is what he had to say.
There's a lot of news coming out. We reported a story about a pardon.
Yes.
Yeah.
All I'll tell you is I think your story was accurate. I'll leave it at that.
Well, I mean, this week some decision will be made. What's the feeling?
I have no idea about timing. All I know is everything that I read in that article looked accurate.
Well, look, that's probably some relief to Diddy's team, you know. And
I don't know. I think they're moving ahead. I don't think anybody is counting on anything, and
Right.
I think the reporting was accurate.
How did you hear he's faring since the sentencing?
I don't know. I mean, I hopefully we'll see him soon and find out.
I guess lastly, I would ask, what do you think his future looks like?
I have
You
the
know?
utmost confidence in Sean. I think Sean will make a comeback, the likes of which people are not expecting. So I've watched him. I've known him for a long time. I have the utmost confidence in him.
In whatever sphere, I mean, he's done business, the music,
he's iconic
the
in a
fashion.
lot of ways, and I think he'll make a comeback. I'll leave it at that.
You don't think that he'll lose some fans, or do you think?
And part of character is when you fall down, you get back up.
Hey, thank you, Mark.
When the TMZ story dropped, Trump to pardon Diddy, the internet practically exploded. Within minutes, hashtags like #FreeDiddy and #NoPardon for Diddy were trending across social media. Commentators, fans, and even a few politicians were scrambling to confirm if the report was real. According to TMZ's sources, Donald Trump was seriously considering commuting Diddy's sentence, not pardoning him completely, but cutting him loose before he even stepped foot in prison.
Before he's even in a prison.
Right.
He's still at Brooklyn MDC waiting to find out which prison he's going to. But this is something that President Trump is considering. And the fact that he's considering it is causing a bit of an internal war at the White House because not everybody in the administration thinks this is a good idea.
So we are told this, and this is coming from somebody high up in the White House. We broke that story, incidentally, that right after the sentencing, his legal team, Diddy's legal team, got in touch with somebody who had the president's ear, and that the president was looking at the paperwork.
And the president acknowledged that
Like 2 days later.
Yeah, in the Oval Office.
2 days later.
Yeah.
So we now know that Trump is considering, we're told that he's kind of waffling, he's going back and forth on this, but there are staffers in the White House telling him, don't do it. So we put this story up last night, and the White House immediately came out and said, fake news. The story is fake news, and then they ended up saying the president makes that decision. Well, we also said that our source, the key source, said the exact same thing, that even though some staffers are telling him not to, that decision,
Ultimately,
he will do what he wants to do.
That's what he does.
I'm confused about what the president's denial
By the way,
was.
just so you know, we absolutely stand by the story.
It's
Right.
100%, it's 100%
It's hard
true.
to find.
I'm confused
Where's
with
the fake news?
what the denial is. What was the claim of fake news? We know that he was considering it. He said in the Oval Office that he was considering it.
That he was aware of.
And
No,
then
we said as early as this week. There is new development.
And
there are new developments that some of the staff is
Yeah.
telling him don't do it. That he has gone back and forth
Right.
on it, but that it could happen as early as the end
But
of this
he
week.
doesn't say-
and very clear, not a pardon, a commutation. That was made clear.
The difference being a pardon, he's still guilty of the crimes. The commutation just doesn't have to serve the sentence.
But we were specifically told commutation, not pardon.
But what is he denying? Is he denying that he is considering it? Is he denying that he's vacillating on it? Or is he saying, I'm never going to give this guy a pardon?
Well, he's not saying
He's
it.
not saying anything.
The
Well,
communication
somebody in the
person
White
was
House, but
not
they're
clear.
speaking on his behalf. They're not speaking without his
they're just saying
consent.
fake news.
That small difference, commutation instead of pardon, might sound like legal jargon, but it changed everything. It meant Diddy would still technically be guilty, just not serving time. And for many people, especially Cassie, that was unthinkable. Behind the scenes, Cassie allegedly was beyond angry, calling the move a betrayal of every survivor watching this case. For her, it wasn't just about Diddy getting out early. It was about what message that sent. That justice could bend when enough power and connections are involved. That money, influence, and celebrity could outplay accountability once again. This is something that Jaguar Wright had previously warned us about.
He was trying to buy 3 jurors. You want to know what didn't happen during that federal trial this year? The jury wasn't sequestered. There was nothing but YouTubers all over the place, in that courtroom, outside that courtroom, watching what trains those jurors got on to go home.
Do you feel like they did us an injustice by not, and I know it's the feds, but should they have put this trial on court TV or something? Should we have had a visual like history of this trial for?
It really don't matter. Like, that's the thing, this trial, the sentencing, the verdict, all the hyperbole, all of the pomp and circumstance, all of the this, all of that, it means nothing. It means nothing. This was all done for the public's entertainment. This was all done to get people like me to be quiet. This was all done to give weirdos like Vladimir Lyuski and Torre the ability to constantly challenge and try to check my veracity, my actuality, my truth, and to get the public to not believe whistleblowers like me. That's why this was done. This ain't even about Diddy. It's about the rest of them. Do you know they're still having white parties?
And maybe that's what made this rumor sting even more. Because TMZ insisted their story was airtight. Their insider allegedly heard it straight from someone inside the White House, who claimed Trump had already been briefed on Diddy's case and was going back and forth about it.
I think Diddy's team royally screwed up, because if he would have bent the knee during sentencing
And just said something about being prosecuted here when there's
As
very
opposed to
little
back
evidence.
channeling it,
Right.
they wanted to.
If he
You
had done
wanted
the
to bend the
public-
knee in the middle of court, open.
But here's the
reporters.
reality, that Diddy's team, what they're telegraphing to the White House is, look at the similarities Donald Trump has with Diddy. They're saying that the Justice Department was weaponized against both of them. That's their argument. That Maureen Comey, James Comey's daughter, prosecuted him. That he was prosecuted for racketeering, which they're saying was never a thing, and the jury agreed. He was prosecuted for sex trafficking. The jury said no.
Right.
And the only thing that he got convicted of was the Mann Act, which he never would have been prosecuted if that was the only thing alone that they had prosecuted him for. So they're saying, look, we're simpatico. We're like you.
Overreaching prosecutors,
And
right?
that's how they're trying to reach Trump.
What I don't see is what's really in this for Trump to do it, right? And because normally when the president makes these decisions, it's transactional. There's something he feels he's going to get from it.
What do you get from George Santos?
Well, I was about to say, that's what gives me pause. Because when I think about Diddy at this point, because he didn't publicly bow, then it feels like, well, what's in it for Trump?
Yeah.
But I would say the same thing about George Santos. What's in it?
There's
what
nothing
was
in it for Trump.
There's
I
nothing
see
in it.
more
yes,
in
there
it.
is.
I see more in it for Diddy than there is for
something in it.
Santos.
Well, there's a lot in it for Diddy.
Right.
But there's
What's in it for Santos?
There's something in it for Trump. Epstein. That right now there is a woman who is not being sworn in by Mike
Into
Johnson,
Congress.
who will be the 218th vote to release the Epstein files. That would be a majority. And they are doing everything they can not to swear her in. But it's looming. And if Diddy gets commuted, the sentence gets commuted, that's going to grab headline.
So it seemed this story isn't just about Diddy and Cassie anymore. It was about Trump, the media, and timing. Because according to TMZ, some insiders believe this potential commutation was never really about justice. It was about distraction. At the same time this rumor broke, Congress was reportedly one vote away from releasing the long-awaited Epstein files, thousands of pages of sealed documents tied to one of the most controversial cases in American history. If those files go public, they could shake powerful names across both parties.
To commute
Gets a
Diddy and
distraction,
get
maybe
more of a
for
distraction.
for a week and a half.
But it's been
at
a
the
series
same-
of distractions for 10 months.
Yeah, no, I got you. I just don't know. I just don't know how much play you get out of that because
You get good play.
You get good
You
play.
get
And by
good
the way,
play.
and by the way, I think you'd get longer play in commuting Diddy than you did George Santos.
Without question, but
Absolutely.
but the Epstein files aren't going to come out tomorrow. Even if they swear in the 218th Congresswoman, they're not going to all of a sudden release them en masse the next day. It's going to take some time. And I hear what you're saying, and he definitely wants a distraction from Epstein. I got that.
They don't have to know what the end game is.
Right,
They're just
right,
delaying.
right.
They just keep delaying.
I'm going to say something that I've gone back and forth to whether I should even say it or not.
Ooh.
I don't know why we got this story, because what occurred to me was that if it becomes public, maybe he's less likely to do it. So there's something I'm missing.
I think that's right.
And I don't know what I'm missing here. There's something I'm missing.
Yeah, I think I don't think you're missing anything. I think that Donald Trump reacts negatively when a story comes out that he has not personally authorized.
But his point is, why wouldn't these sources have thought that through?
Well, sources are sources. People talk for different reasons.
Hey,
and
enough said.
Hey, I'm Love Jones, rep in Brooklyn, New York, and I am not at all surprised that Trump would consider commuting Diddy. I mean, they did used to party together, and the hip-hop community absolutely loved Trump back in the day, okay?
Meanwhile, Trump hasn't directly denied the report. His team called it fake news, but as TMZ pointed out, that denial was vague. No clear statement that he wasn't considering it. Just the usual deflection. And as for Diddy, silence. His camp hasn't said a word since the story broke, which only fueled speculation that something might actually be happening behind closed doors. The only thing we've gotten out of them is Mark Garagos saying there's something to TMZ's story. But Cassie's fury, that's public. Insiders say she feels like the justice system is being played with, that all her courage, all her testimony, could end up being overshadowed by backdoor politics and celebrity power plays.
Early on, this story was a Cassie Ventura story. For her to receive $20 million settlement plus $10 million from the hotel, plus Diddy getting sentenced to 4 years, does Cassie get justice in all this? Does that look like?
Still not enough. Still not enough. And it's wild because she was getting such a better deal than Derek Lee Cordell Smith is.
$30 million and your perpetrator gets 50 months? I mean,
Still not enough.
jeez.
Her life is never gonna be the same. And people are gonna find ways to make her life complicated, to force her to have to spend that $30 million every way they possibly can. You know, there is no up. There is no win. Haven't I been saying that?
Yeah, like you said, it's all really make-believe. I mean, this is all just for show or something. Is there a lesson to be learned here, though, at all? Like, is there a lesson for generations to come to learn from this?
Stop being so anxious to be a follower. Stop being so quick to be on that Brandy bullshit. I wanna be down. We got too many people that want to be down.
Man.
We got too many people that want to be around all of this stuff. And we have enough instances of fuck what's right and wrong. As long as there's enough money to throw at it, it's going to be whatever we want it to be.
Now, we speak on hubris, where Diddy, they say, had set up speaking engagements a week after he was technically wanted to walk free.
Yeah.
Again, we talk about hubris and things of that nature.
God said no.
Yeah.
God told him, sit your black ass down.
And if Trump does go through with it, if Diddy walks free before the weekends, it could open a floodgate. Because what message would that send to victims everywhere? That justice can be traded for attention? That accountability can be negotiated if the right person makes a call? People have long blown whistles on how this is incredibly prevalent in the music industry. Diddy is just the latest to dodge justice.
How bad was it?
That's what I care about. I care about the victims.
No, I understand. How bad was it, do you think? What was going on?
I'm going to tell you right now that me, as a woman who has been in the industry for over 30 years, I've been performing live since I was 13. My first handler was McKinley Horton. I come to find out 25 years later that a scar that was on his face with a very elaborate story he gave me was put there by a woman who he assaulted. To live through these things and hear your elders in the business, people like Patti LaBelle say, just avoid him, honey. And being taught to be just avoid him, honey. It's not good enough. Not when you live through these things, you're still suffering the PTSD created by all of this, and you're talking to a victim that's 20 years younger than you, and she's telling you the exact same thing that happened to you.
So
you want to know why there's no vindication for me? Because for 4 years, I've been screaming, not just Diddy, but Diddy and Jay-Z are monsters. And the victim-making machine kept going on.
Either way, one thing is clear. Diddy may well be on his way to evading justice, and it spells danger for his victims. But for now, though, he has to worry about saving his own skin, because according to several news reports, Diddy recently woke up in his Brooklyn jail cell with a knife pressed to his throat. The alleged incident, described by his longtime friend Charlucci Finney, painted a picture of a man living under constant threat. Charlucci told the Daily Mail online, "He woke up with a knife to his throat. I don't know whether he fought him off or the guards came. I just know that it happened."
Looks like the diddler woke up with a knife to his throat in prison. Well, that didn't take long, did it? Diddy's only friend that's left, the one that's was by him with Free Diddy and all those stupid shirts, this guy, he said that Diddy woke up with a knife to his throat. At the detention center. The one in Brooklyn. He said, I don't know whether he fought him off or the guards came. He just knows that it happened. If this guy wanted to harm him, Sean would have been harmed. It would only take a second to blank his throat with a weapon and unalive him. It was probably a way to say, next time you ain't gonna be so lucky. Everything is intimidation, but with Sean, it won't work. Sean's from Harlem. Okay, sure. P. Diddy Puff Daddy better watch his back. In prison, don't drop the soap.
Speculation has exploded since the prison attack on Diddy, with many suggesting that it may not have been random at all. People on the internet think Diddy may just straight up be lying to garner sympathy and get transferred to a different, more welcoming prison. However, some believe that the incident could be part of a larger effort by longtime Tupac Shakur supporters seeking revenge. Revenge for a murder they've never stopped believing Diddy had a hand in.
Say, yo, listen here, man. This guy's life might be danger over here because people think that he has something to do with Pac. People think he has something to do with Biggie, and they right here in Brooklyn. You understand? It's right here in Brooklyn, and some of the people are still mad that he made making of the band walk to Brooklyn from, to get the cheesecake, and just around the corner from the Cheesecake Factory. So, Junior's. So it might be some dumb shit. So y'all need to get him out of here and ship him to Jersey because somebody gonna kill him over here. Those are good arguments, if you want to call it, but it's bullshit. He gonna get the same treatment no matter how much money he got from them correction officers. Because if they don't and they get caught giving him preferential treatment, they gonna lose their job.
So you feel like Pac fans will try to do something to him?
Pac and Biggie fans. He can have issues with both of them because a lot of people think, because of the statement that Keefe D made, that he did something to Pac. A lot of people know or think that because of Biggie leaving, they finding out that Biggie was leaving Bad Boy, that he may have had something to do with Biggie.
The timing couldn't be more suspicious. Just as Diddy's legal troubles intensified, a newly surfaced 2025 Drug Enforcement Administration (DEA) report reignited one of hip-hop's darkest and most debated mysteries, the 1996 killing of Tupac Shakur. The document reveals fresh allegations from Dwayne Keith Davis, better known as Keefe D, who claims that Diddy once offered a $1 million bounty to have both Tupac and Suge Knight killed. These explosive claims first appeared in confidential police interviews conducted in 2008 and 2009, but they've now resurfaced in official records tied to Keefe D's ongoing legal proceedings. He's the only person currently charged in connection with Tupac's murder. In the report, Keefe D alleges that Diddy was furious with Tupac and Knight during the height of their East Coast-West Coast feud, and that he said he would give anything for those dudes' heads. According to Keefe, Diddy then put a $1 million price tag on their lives.
In the book, you said the third day after getting back from Vegas, you guys met up with Zip in L.A.
At Wingstop.
At Wingstop.
Yeah. Not Wingstop, but Hot Wings. LA Hot Wings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess you said that Puffy called and said, "Was that us?" And you didn't say nothing.
I didn't say nothing. Yeah, you're right.
There's also, you go into the book, that apparently there was supposed to be $1 million that Zip was supposed to bring back, but he ended up keeping the money and buying a nightclub with it.
That's what the FBI said.
The FBI said that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You guys never got any money?
Never.
For anything?
Nothing. Not even a pair of Sean John drawers. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. It seemed like Puff do that though. He seemed like every time some bad shit go around here, it look like it's some shit on the grass. He don't step around that shit. He get away from that bullshit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you talked about how you made a crucial mistake by having a big meeting in the neighborhood.
Yeah, it wasn't in the neighborhood. It was at a park outside of the neighborhood.
Okay, in Cerritos.
Yeah.
Okay. And what was the mistake that you made?
I said I was just going to get some bread from Puff to get us some guns because they kept on raiding our houses, taking our guns.
And there was informants that was listening to this whole conversation.
Yeah, they was there. Yeah. Exactly.
And they reported that back.
Yeah. I wish you can enter the FBI's. They don't do shit like this. You know what I'm saying? Greg Hayden, he was just a LA detective. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he act like he made me crumble and all that. He didn't make me crumble. It's my friends around me. They took me down.
Right. Because, well, your whole life is being turned upside down at this point.
Exactly.
If Keefe D says that he was trying to get his money from Puff through Zip, and he got that money was worth $6, and they could trace it back to them, and both of those people could say that, then they got him. But that's going to be hard to prove because I don't believe that may have happened. I don't know why he had to check for $1 million. It wasn't my concern at no time. But I know he had a check for $1 million.
The fatal drive-by shooting took place on September 7th, 1996, just hours after Tupac and Knight were caught on camera fighting rival gang members at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, following a Mike Tyson boxing match. Tupac was struck multiple times while riding with Knight in a black BMW and died 6 days later from his injuries. Knight survived, though with a serious head wound. Diddy, for his part, has repeatedly denied having any involvement in the murder. he's never been charged, named a suspect, or officially linked to the killing by law enforcement.
Now, it was this documentary that claimed, which we know wasn't true.
Yeah, check this out. We don't talk about things that are nonsense. We don't even entertain nonsense, my brother. So we're not even going to go there, with all due respect, but I appreciate you as a journalist asking. Thank you.
Because listen, 7 years ago, I'd have been like, yo, did you hire somebody to kill Pac? But no, you do it like a journalist.
Yeah, no, I mean, we wouldn't even get into nonsense like that. You know what I'm saying? It's nonsense.
Which we never believed, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
Still, the resurfacing of the DEA report has thrown gasoline on an already smoldering fire of suspicion. Adding even more intrigue, Diddy's former bodyguard, Gene Deal, has publicly urged investigators to follow the money. He claims there might be a trail connected to a $1 million check tied to the alleged murder-for-hire plot. Deal has long speculated that the funds may have passed through Eric Von Zip Martin, a close associate of Keefe D., who he believes acted as an intermediary.
But I want to ask you about Puffy case. It looked like they trying to connect him to Pac murder, man.
Well, the way the lawsuit and the way the law enforcement's been talking about it is that they believe that there was a check for $1 million that were paid out. What I've always said before is that follow the paperwork. Follow the paperwork. Kirk Burrows came out of his lawsuit and said that Diddy had something to do with it. You understand? At that time, Kirk knew how to get the money, knew how to put the money into place. So follow the check. Everybody was saying, yo, nobody writes a check for $1 million for this, that, and the third. Well, like I told people a long time ago, the individuals that they try to say that had something to do with it or got paid for it showed us a check for $1 million. I don't know that to be true. I know that that individual told us that he got a check for Black Ground Records for selling a record company that I didn't know he had. I never said he did. So follow the paperwork, if that's true or not. So now if it goes back to that, maybe he did, maybe he didn't, I don't know. And I'm still gonna go with what I said. It's gonna come back, bro. It's gonna come back, bro. If they do, everything is already laid out there. All they have to do is 9 times out of 10, follow the paperwork. Keefe D gonna be free pretty soon.
Now, with Keefe D's trial set for February 2026, the story has come full circle. Still, Diddy isn't leaving things to chance. The rapper and producer has filed a notice of appeal over his conviction and the 4-year prison sentence that followed. In a 2-page filing submitted to Manhattan Federal Court, his appellate attorney, Alexandra A.E. Shapiro, confirmed that Diddy would be challenging both the conviction and the sentence. While the appeal notice didn't outline specific arguments, Diddy's legal team had already made their stance clear. They believe the conviction never should have happened in the first place. According to them, the statute used, transportation for the purpose of prostitution, doesn't apply to the circumstances of the case. It remains to be seen if he will win this appeal. Do you guys think Trump will commute his sentence? Let us know in the comments below.